Listen, baby. What's going on, everybody? I hope everyone's doing fantastic. Oh, well, that's Black Ops 6. Don't want to play that, except for the zombies. You know what we're talking about today, okay? Now, I'm going to pop a spoiler warning up here because we are going to be talking a little bit about Berserk, or how I like to call it, Berserk. Now, I had the pleasure of reading book 5 yesterday. I completed it, finally. Actually, I might have finished it this morning. Finished on a cliffhanger, didn't like that. But I actually wanted to talk a little bit in depth about it because my homie Matt was like, just yap about it. Just yap about it. So that's what we're going to do. So, for starters, I'm not an extremely experienced Berserk fan. I've only seen, like I said, the movie, put into show adaptation, and then the follow-up series, which I believe was a 2016-2017. The one I watched was like 2012, 2013. Not sure on the years, but I understand. I've seen enough. I gotta say, for starters, every book's been amazing so far. There's never really been anything that I've even close to disliked. The reason I'm talking about a spoiler warning, though, is because I actually kind of wanted to deep dive, because I feel like the 5th book is very awesome. Obviously, it's awesome, but out of all of the ones I've read, I think it's like the more terrifying version of it, which is kind of crazy compared to the Eclipse. But follow with me on it, because I think this, I don't know. So, essentially, if you haven't read the 5th book, and again, spoilers in it, I'm going to try not to spoil everything, like verbatim, word for word, statement for statement. But where we are in it is essentially Guts and Puck, which Puck is not, Guts doesn't like Puck right now. Not at all. And essentially, they go to this town. Well, they don't go to this town. They run into a girl named Jill. I'm not going to explain the context of how they ran into each other. There's a whole lot of darkness. But they run into a gal named Jill. And essentially, the book 5 all takes place after Jill. And I wonder, and again, I'm going to try to show a picture of Jill. I don't want to. I want you to read it. I'm not going to show you anything out of this, because the artwork is amazing. And you got to spend the money on it. It's great. It's worth it. If you don't spend the money on it, you're actually wasting your time. All right, you're wasting your money. Don't play video games. Read Berserk. Anyway, you run into a character named Jill, and this whole book essentially is based off of her perspective. You kind of see how she reacts to different things, her history, how she knows the apostle that they fight. And I'm not going to try to spoil. I keep talking about it, but I'm not going to try to spoil anything. You got to read it. Anyway, so what I think is really nice about this one is it doesn't necessarily fixate on Guts, but Guts is obviously the main character, but you get to hear an outside perspective of somebody that actually spends an amount of time with Guts that isn't Rickert or anybody that the blacksmith or the little girl, basically the 3 Band of the Hawk members or whatever, you get to see somebody who's outside perspective, but gets to spend some time with Guts after the Eclipse. Now, Guts was always ruthless, especially in book 1, book 2, and all the time. But I feel like he had a bit of humanity in him. He had the backtrack towards Gambino. You get to hear about his past. You learn about all this type of stuff, and he didn't really let it affect him. But he did become more ruthless because of his upbringing. I mean, he had a fucking awful one. But the big thing that I really like is the comparison between Griffith and Guts, right? I feel like and I had to talk to Matt about it this one time, I feel like Griffith is someone who, or Femto, whichever one, he's the person who sacrificed everyone around him to get what he wanted, when Guts sacrificed himself to get what he wanted, which obviously now is vengeance for the apostles. But because of that, I feel like he's lost a very large bit of humanity. And that's something that Jill notices pretty consistently in the show. Or not the show, the book. My bad. And I think what it comes down to, especially in book 5 that I'm kind of reading, is you just kind of get to see this realization that Guts is no longer, he's human, but he's no longer human. Femto lost his emotions because of a choice he made. Guts lost his emotion because of the choices other people made and that he's experiencing. That's why, if you haven't read book 1, go read the Black Swordsman arc. When Guts sees Femto, that shit is on sight, and it got me hooked. whenever you are getting dragged to hell and the only thing you're thinking about is shooting a cannonball at your nemesis's face, gold. I just love how they really, and the reason I bring this up, just in general, I just love how they really put the characters and their sacrifices out there, and especially Guts's. There's a line, I'm paraphrasing on it, but essentially Guts is fighting an apostle, and Jill talks to herself about saying she doesn't know who the real monster is. And you always have, obviously, during the entire book, you just feel bad for Guts. And you're also like, yeah, he's killing it, and you just read the next page, you're like, damn, dude, fuck. Like, Demon Baby? Damn. Casca? Damn. Mom? Damn. Friends? Damn. Eclipse? Damn. Dude, damn. And you just keep reading it. People he meet? Damn. It's just damn. If you want a summarization of how I feel about Berserk, damn. Anyway, but going back into book 5, and it kind of goes into book 6, I think it's interesting because Guts also doesn't, and I understand the Eclipse, I understand that the apostle that we're fighting in book 5 is awful. I mean, the adult attack? What? What? There are times where when I read Berserk, where I'm just like, I don't want to turn to the next page. I don't want to do it. But I keep doing it. I keep wanting to do it. Anyway, I keep getting distracted. So essentially, whenever it comes down to, what was I? I'm sorry, we were kind of going all over the place. Oh yeah. So, but anyway, so Jill knows the apostle that we go in with chapter 5, and I think it's interesting because I feel like demons have always been portrayed to be very charismatic, and I think they do that really well in Berserk. Like every single one of them, easy to convince. Like God Hand, don't know if they're angels or demons. Pretty sure them bitches are demons, but they're pretty convincing. Obviously, the person that has the Bailet. Cribs of Bela is not a good person. There's a reason that's in your hand. There's a reason, and so it is written. Ha! Quote that dude Zod. I don't know if that's the exact quote, but something like that. Jill is almost convinced, essentially, to become an apostle. And the big thing that I think is really interesting about it is, like, how compelling evil is, because it's always the easy path, right? And Guts takes the really, really scary, terrifying path, and it's crazy because that's the good one, right? Like, you go through and he goes through all these cocoons, he burns them alive, cuts them up, cuts them open, and I don't want to say what's in them. If you know, you know. Don't comment it. If you know, you know. It's not a great scene. This book 5, and honestly going into book 6, pretty awful. Okay? Gonna be honest. Pretty fucking bad. Okay? Not great. It's just a lot. And what the problem is, for me anyway, is it's hard for me to like sit down and articulate every single feeling that I have about this book because it's new. It's so new to me that I don't really know how to process it in my mind. Like, I don't know where I would put Berserk besides dark and damn. You know what I mean? So anyway, yeah, I didn't really want to like talk about anything like super crazy. It's Berserk. I love Berserk. I want to try to yap more about it coherently, but it's really, for me, genuinely, it is hard to articulate it. So if I didn't make sense, my bad. If I did, I hope you really enjoyed the video. And if you did, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps me out. Comment your favorite part and comment anything you guys want me to kind of talk about a little bit more. I'm probably going to make a video about Marvel Doomsday. I still need to make a video on Marvel Rivals. And I think every book going forward, I might make a little bit of like something like this. 6, 8 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever. Just talking about it. Because, you know, Berserk is nice. I like reading it. And I have a really great time sitting back and just listening to some lo-fi music and just getting enthralled in Berserk. So, have a blessed rest of your guys' night. Make sure to go to the gym. Take care of your guys' selves. Peace.